Americans are thieves, and I have no idea why. But Watch Mojo UK is about to tell me the top 10 things America stole from Britain. And I'm not going to lie, I can only think of one thing off the top of my head, and that is The Office. And I'm not just saying that because it was in the thumbnail. I'm saying that because that's the only thing I genuinely do know. So I'm looking forward to this one. Don't forget to go check out Watch Mojo UK's page. I will put a link in the description to this video. But without further ado, let's get into this.
From pastries to patriotic sing-alongs. Welcome to Watch Mojo UK, and today we'll be counting down our picks for the top 10 things America stole from Britain.
He likes American stuff. Oh.
Before we begin, if you enjoy this video, be sure to subscribe for more great content.
Subscribe to my channel.
For this list, we're counting down famous facets of American culture which actually originated in Britain. While standout British inventions are subject for another list, today's countdown tackles typically American things, which the US has the UK to thank for. Number 10. Apple pie. As American as apple pie, right? Wrong.
Not Madonna,
the
apple
sweet
pie.
treat is a staple on US dining tables, but the British were the first to serve it way back in the 1300s. A popular dessert throughout European history, with Dutch and Swedish styles also inspiring menus worldwide, it was taken across the pond with the 17th century colonists. Since then, apple pie has become a standout symbol of US patriotism, as well as a central component to a teen comedy franchise.
It's not what it looks like.
Number 9. YMCA.
Okay, so the first thing, I'm going to comment on each of these if I know about it. I don't mind apple pie, honestly, it's not a preference of mine. I prefer apple crumble over apple pie with a nice bit of custard. I don't know if Americans eat custard, but I lived in Finland and they had no idea what the hell I was going on about when I said custard with apple pie and apple crumble in it. So, yeah, the YMCA.
Hey. Way before village people turned this institution into a cheesy disco anthem, and long before the YMCA swept across America, the Young Men's Christian Association was the brainchild of English philanthropist George Williams. Dismayed by working conditions in 18th century London, Williams conceived the now famous charity as a safe place for its patrons. While the movement's worldwide influence is something to be proud of, difficult to imagine Williams joining in with the dance moves.
Why not?
Number 8. Chocolate bars.
I think I'll eat it now!
Candy bars are big business stateside, but before Mars, Hershey's, Milky Bar or Baby Ruth, there was one bloke in Bristol making confectionery history. Joseph Fry.
Do you know what? Sorry. It's so funny because it's the case that, that woman's laying on the bed there and she's like, oh, look at me. I'm just looking at the chocolate. Seriously. I am a chocoholic. I eat far too much chocolate. And it only got made worse after I gave up smoking. I kind of went on to chocolate a bit more. And it's weird because like I said, I used to live in Finland. And it is the case there that if men eat chocolate out there, they get looked at funny. In all fairness, Finland's a weird country anyway in a lot of senses. But it is that this is just based on what I was told by the people that I knew in Finland. But that, for a man eating chocolate, it's considered like being gay or whatever. But yeah, it's stupidness. I love chocolate. I would eat chocolate until the cows come home, seriously. And yeah, nothing on no one could ever stop me eating chocolate.
I finalised the first mass-produced chocolate bar in the mid-1800s, around the time that the Dutch developed a chocolate press. Fry's chocolate cream hit shelves in 1866 with a famed fondant filling, and the bar can still be bought today. John Cadbury quickly followed suit, while the likes of Hershey's didn't arrive until the late 1890s. Number 7. Sandwiches.
Could I have a glass of wine?
Okay,
And a ham sandwich?
if you like.
With a pickle?
All right.
Thanks to world-conquering fast food outlets, Homer Simpson and Joey Tribbiani, you'd be forgiven for thinking that this foodstuff was a US creation. However, the history of the sandwich is long and complicated, and very little of it happened in America. While early versions are recorded across Europe, it's named after the 4th Earl of Sandwich in Kent. The story goes that he was an ardent gambler, and meat between bread was the simplest way of eating without disrupting a game of cards.
Sandwich for display purposes only and should not be eaten.
Number
Okay, so I don't know if this is something that is done a lot in the US, but here we have, for a sandwich, there's nothing better that if you've got chips, a chip sandwich that you just butter a couple of pieces of bread, you put some chips in there, and you just squash it all together, and you just chew down on it. Or the next one, which is probably second on the list for me, is a sandwich, just buttered bread and cheese and onion crisp in the middle, and then again you squash it down so the crisps start to like break and everything. Who knew that this one was going to make me hungry?
6. The Office.
I knew this one.
And yes, we mean the TV show and not the actual open plan workplace, which is largely a German invention. Anyway, unlike a lot of American remakes of British TV, The Office US did manage to tap into most of what made its predecessor pair. But after 9 series and a shed load of awards, let's just remember where it all started. Steve Carell's Michael Scott is hilarious in his own right, but for fans of the British original, he'll always be David Brent in disguise.
Do you know what? I am not going to lie. If someone said to me that, like, which one do you want to watch? Do you want to watch The Office UK or do you want to watch The Office US? My choice, hands down, every single time will be The Office US. For some reason, like, with Ricky Gervais, for his earlier stuff, especially in The Office, he just wound me up. I just did not like him at all. And don't get me wrong, I've been watching some of his stand-ups. I've been watching what he does at award shows and things like that. And I think he's hilarious now. But going like years back, it just never appealed to me to sit and watch the UK version of The Office. And every time it was on, it's just one of them things that you just think, I want to watch something else. I don't want to be watching this crap. But for every time I've watched The Office, the US, I've got into it. I've laughed, and that chemistry between like Steve Carell and John Krasinski and Rainn Wilson, I think that they are brilliant together, and they make that show what it is, and it is just so funny. But the UK one just does not appeal, and I think the UK one, there's too much swearing in it. There's a lot of F this and F that and a lot of CUNTs, and I don't know, it spoils it for me to some extent. That
Number 5. Plastic surgery.
Wow.
really.
That came out of me.
From Botox to boob jobs, America is the world's leading market for cosmetic surgery, with millions going under the knife every year. But the industry was by no means born in the USA. Sir Harold Gillies is often credited as the father of plastic surgery, a New Zealand-born, London-based surgeon who gathered leading physicians to treat thousands of soldiers who had been injured or disfigured in World War I. Gillies' work became a blueprint for all sorts of reconstructive procedures, and a starting point for today's aesthetic options. Number 4, the light bulb.
It just goes to show that, like, as a human being, that like he came up with the idea of plastic surgery to help like war veterans that have been disfigured and everything in the war, and someone's come along and said, do you know what? Fuck that. We can use this to make more money just by making people feel insecure about themselves and making people feel that they need to change this and they need to change that, that they need bigger tits, they need a bigger ass, they need to, like, why go to the gym, why work your ass off to get the body that you want when we fucking just come in and we can give you plastic surgery to get rid of all that fat around you and things like that. So it became like a genuine, like, something genuinely nice to help war heroes to one of the probably the biggest money makers in the world.
A supposedly serial stealer of other people's ideas, Thomas Edison's light bulb moment is considered one of the most significant steps in modern technology.
Hey, Edison, how about sharing some of those light bulbs, huh?
Hey, figure it out for yourself, man.
But experts are continually divided on just how much Edison did to develop the design. Before the Wizard of Menlo Park, there were countless other scientists creating electric light and light bulbs, not least British pioneers including Humphrey Davy and Joseph Swan. The anti-Edison camp claims that the inventor's only skill was knowing when to patent.
One thing Edison did invent, for 100% genuine Edison invention, that we use every day, probably, most of us.
Is it nasal hair clippers?
Number 3, donuts.
One little bite won't hurt you.
Now, the origins of the donut.
See, two things here. One, I don't mind savoury stuff like donuts, but I prefer chocolate. That I can eat them now and then, but I don't really like them. But on another note, I really like the film Dodgeball. That Ben Stiller in that scene was quite funny, but the whole the whole Dodgeball film as a whole for me was just hilarious.
Are a sticky affair, with claims and counterclaims sending historians round and round in circles. However, while a stronger suggestion remains that the Dutch took the treats to America in the mid-19th century, a 2013 discovery seemingly proves that the Brits were baking them at least 50 years before. Baroness Elizabeth Dimsdale's cookbook dates to 1800 and includes a strikingly similar recipe. A deep-fried concoction of sugar, eggs, butter and yeast, add some icing, and it's the real deal. Number 2. Baseball. A national sport and obsession in the US, baseball was born in the UK. There are countless records of bat and ball games being played in Blighty, starting with stool ball in the 1300s.
See,
Sure,
we played
the
it as
rules have
rounders.
changed and refined over the years, but the basic premise is usually the same. Someone pitches, someone swings, others try to catch. In fact, some researchers argue that baseball is an offshoot of cricket, an English obsession which didn't catch on across the Atlantic.
Okay, see, I like baseball, and like it is the case that given a choice, I will go to a batting cage and hit a baseball. For me, cricket is boring as hell. Cricket will send me to sleep. But yeah, we call baseball here rounders. We used to, well, yeah, when I was in school, we called it rounders, and it was the same. Someone bowls, someone hits with a bat, and then you run and you hit your base and whatever. And yeah, apparently, we created it. America's pastime.
At all. Number 1. The Star Spangled Banner.
Oh, I need to react to this. Oh, what is it? Team America. This is something I have not seen in a long time. I think this was released in, what, 2004? I surprised myself with, like, when things were actually released. I think it's like my IMDb brain kicks in. That, like, as soon as I think of a film, I just think of the date in the brackets beside it. But I think it was 2004. I'll have to check that out. But yeah, this is something I think I'm going to have to go back and watch again.
We finish with a final salute for great British influence on American culture, because the US national anthem is sung to the tune of an 18th century English drinking song. Baltimore wordsmith Francis Scott Key takes full credit for the lyrics, but the melody was written by John Stafford Smith, a Gloucester-born composer. The Anacreontic song, as it was originally known, was regularly belted around a prestigious London gentleman's club, where wealthy people met to wine and dine.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from...
So, there you go. There you have it. 10 things that America stole from Britain. Can't believe it. Can't believe you'd steal them from Britain. Donuts. The baseball. The Office. You can have The Office. Your one's better, honestly, in all fairness. Sandwiches. We created you stole sandwiches from us. And you probably ruined them. You put all like your lettuce and things like that. And you just need chips or crisps or... I enjoyed this. Thank you to Watch Mojo UK for letting us react to this video. Like I said, the link to their original video is in the comments down below if you want to go check it out and subscribe to their channel. I hope you enjoyed this. I really did enjoy this, and I'm going to go through a lot more of their lists because I've seen some on their site that I do think can be quite good to react to. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed. Please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. I will be uploading daily, and I do take... Seriously, my mind just goes blank at times. I do take requests. If there is anything that you want me to react to, then let me know in the comments down below, and subscribe and like and watch more videos and tell your mum and dad about it and tell your friends about it, tell your wife or your husband about it, share it, go on to Twitter and share it. And I'm rambling. Okay, thank you for watching. See you in the next one.